So I had asked on Instagram if you guys wanted to see a first impressions and a look at the Lorac Pro 2 palette. I just know there was loads of videos already on YouTube about it, so I didn't know if people wanted my thoughts on it or not. First impression, I guess. I just got it today, so yeah, I did the look that's on my face with right now, so if you want to see like straight up how it first performed on me, you can hang tight towards the end of the video and you can see that. But it just comes in a box like so with a behind the scenes eye primer, 0.19 ounce bottle of the primer, and I don't care for that primer. It's too drying on my lids. Like if I use those drying primers, I have heck getting anything to stick to it. Like it'll stick initially, and then if I blend it just goes nuts. But so I use my current favorite eye primer, which is the RMS Uncover Concealer, which has been working amazing since I've been using it as an eyeshadow primer. It's more moisturizing and it's a bit stickier, and it just helps my shadows blend and adhere better to the lids. So I'm really surprised at what the palette did, which I'll get into that in a minute. There are 16 eyeshadows in here. 8 the top row, 8 are matte, the bottom row are shimmer, and they are, there's a total amount of product of 0.32 ounces in the whole palette. So stating the obvious, the Pro 2 is gray and the first one that came out is black. They both have that same grippy texture, kind of like the NARS, which I think both of them, I think the gray one's going to end up getting just as dirty as the Lorac one, which I kind of think that my Lorac one is, it's funny that it's dirty because I hardly ever use it. I mean, it's not a horrible palette. I know loads of people love it. I'm just not head over heels for it. But I'll show these to you guys what they look like next to each other right here. The Pro 2 one, it's got a little bit cooler shades in there too, but it's got warm shades as well, like the buff, the brown, the nectar, rose, mocha. Those are all really warm toned brown shades, as well as the cocoa, but it's got some more cools in it than the first Lorac palette. So I'll get up close here to compare these for you guys. So here are the two palettes next to each other. You can see the top row is matte and the bottom row is shimmer, and the tones are showing up very, very true to color on the camera here. So I'll go ahead and swatch out the Pro 2 palette for you guys. And as far as repeat shades go, the only repeat that I see in there is the color black. So I guess I'll just do 4 at a time here as far as swatches are concerned. I always think that they show up way better on the fingertips for people to see. Do the second 4. So like crazy pigmentation, and they do feel really smooth. I gotta say that much. See, like intense, right? Now I'll do the bottom row, which are the shimmers. Again, really smooth. And then the last 4. So as you guys can see, I mean, with the swatches, they pack some great pigmentation. They swatch out really beautifully. Being an eyeshadow addict myself, what I have found that swatches are never the same as when you apply them on the eye. Like I had this YSL palette from around winter time that swatched horribly. Like I could hardly get any product to swatch at all. It was just terrible. It was so terrible when I swatched it, I thought that I was going to send it back, which despite the beautiful packaging. But then I used it, and so easy to use, and the look came out so beautiful on the eye. So that just goes to show you, you know, whether, you know, these look like that or not. I know the shimmers are going to perform a lot better than I had with these matte shades. It was kind of just, I feel like it was a disaster. I blended and packed and blended and packed the color on, and it just goes patchy. Like I'll get the right amount of color on the patchy spots and then go try to blend out that harshness, and it just goes patchy again, which is not something you want in eyeshadow. And I don't know if it's because I've been using like some amazing eyeshadows lately, like the Makeup Geek ones I've been using quite a load, or, I mean, I hate to say this because I'm probably going to sound all somehow or whatever, but I have some really great eyeshadows, you know, that it's literally effortless to apply and blend out and create a look with. And I must have spent like 10 minutes trying to blend out my eyeshadow, which normally it takes me like 2 or something, you know, maybe more. And I kept trying to fix the blending of it, and this one blended out better than this one, so I don't know what's up with that. Maybe my primer was a little uneven, but even if that is the case, I haven't had that problem with other eyeshadows. But at the same time, even though the shades kind of blended together into more of a muddy mix, where I've used some shadows that I can pick out so many different colors and apply them and blend them, and they can still retain that color. You know, you can still pick out each color that I used in the eye look, whereas this one just kind of looks muddy, I guess. I mean, it just looks kind of muddy to me. Granted, this is totally a first impressions, and I definitely need to play with it more, you know. If I'd have put some of these deeper shades like this in the crease, or used a transition shade that was probably shimmery, I would have been able to blend out those dark shades a lot better. But if you're looking for something with those matte shades, these didn't blend out that nice. Like, I wish I would have never used the nectar shade in the look. I wish I would have blended it out with like a shimmer or something. They just did not blend out very nice for me. And I'm going to probably try this again tomorrow and see how it goes. Because I do need to give it another shot, you know. And if I do use it again tomorrow, I'll put an annotation in the description box whether or not it performed better upon my second use, because maybe that'll be helpful for you guys. But anyway, that is my first impressions. I did get this off of Ulta, and their shipping is so slow. Anyway, 42 bucks I think is what I paid for it, which you really don't get a ton of product in each of these shadows. It averages out to be about 0.02 ounces per shadow, which is not a ton of product. So I believe the Kat Von D ones are 0.05 ounces per shadow, so you're getting twice the amount of shadow in a Kat Von D palette as you are in something like this. So just for, you know, reference purposes. But anyways, this is my total straight up first impressions. Sorry to say it wasn't a good one. Definitely need to give it another shot. But if you guys want to see how I did this look on my eyes, or how they performed and how much fun I had with it, you can hang tight and we'll get into it right now. I'm just going to go ahead and prime my eyes with the RMS Uncover Up in 00. This is like slowly becoming my favorite concealer for under the eyes and also eyeshadow primer. So I'm just going to put some of this on my ring finger and prime from the lash line to underneath the brow. I'm going to start off with this shade right here called Snow on a Goss number 18 brush. I'm just going to pick up a bunch of that, and I'm going to pack it all over the lid. Now on a fluffy Goss number 3 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Buff right here, and I'm going to put that underneath my brow bone. Kind of powdery, that one. It's kind of just a yellow matte highlight shade. Well, like that. And then let's take Nectar, this shade right here, which is also on the matte portion. Let's pick up this Nectar shade, and I'm going to put that kind of at the base of the start of my brow and bring it outwards a little bit, like so. Yes, and then I'm going to wipe my brush off and then just blend out that top edge a bit. Alrighty. Now on a Goss number 6 brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Navy. I'm just going to pick up a bit of this. This might turn black because I'm going to go over it with the plum shade, but let's just see how it goes. I'm just going to put this on the outer portion of the crease. Kind of right there, yeah. And if you can see here, if you can see there, the shadows are kind of kicking up a load of product there. Now on a cleaner Goss number 6 brush, I'm going to go in with the shade Plum, which is right there. Pick up some of that. These shades, dipping your brush in there, a lot of product is kind of picking up with that. And then I'm just going to go around the edge, kind of just around that blue shade. And put it right in the beginning of that blue as well in the crease there. Super intense pigmented deep shades, that's for sure. Hopefully I'm in focus, dang it. I don't know. Things are getting kind of patchy up in there. Let's see if we can blend it out. I'm going to pick up some more of that Plum shade on a Goss number 20 brush. It's just a little pencil brush. And I'm going to shape this outside part. Then I'm going to go back in with the brush that I used with the blue, and I'm going to stick that back in the crease. I don't know. It's looking patchier than all heck, you guys. That's not good. Let's go in with a fluffy number 4 brush and pick up that Plum shade again. Let's pack it in there. Okay, that's better. Okay, that's better. Now I think I'm going to go in with this number 3 brush here, and I'm going to pick up that Nectar shade again. I don't want to go too dark in front of those deep shades. I'm just going to blend this front part out here. Like that. And then run this brush back through the crease. I don't know about that Nectar shade. The Nectar shade, I kind of wish I didn't use it. Let's go in with this shimmery rose shade. Shimmer always like fixes stuff. Let's pick up the rose shade here on the fluffy number 3 brush. And I'm just going to run that right along that dark shadow. I don't know, man. Let's pick up some more Plum here. This isn't going so good, is it? Oh, shoot. I'm getting a lot of patchiness with these mattes. Now I wish I would have just did all shimmer. Now I'm going to go in with this Goss number 19 brush. I'm going to pick up the rose shade again. The rose shimmer shade. And I'm going to really try to blend this out. It just looks rugged. Okay, and then we'll go back in with this number 6 brush and try to fade this up so that it blends a bit better. I don't know, you guys, this kind of is looking like a mess to me. I don't know, I'm really unimpressed with these shadows. I know mattes can be hard to work with, but patchiness, I kind of wish I would have used all shimmer, but then I would have probably gave you guys an amazing impression, because shimmer is a lot easier to, you know, work with, but I don't know. And I know my method of putting on shadows is a little bit different, but it's for, you know, to get the overall look that is seemingly complex and a lot less steps with a lot less blending on the eye, with the most intensity out of the eyeshadows is kind of how I go about putting shadow on. And it with good shadows it always works, but this isn't looking so good. I just picked up a little bit more of the rose color and I'm trying to lightly blend this, like super barely touching the skin. Like barely, because if I over blend that, it's going to get patchy again. This is not very fun. I just don't like how difficult that was for me to use just now. But I do have fallout on my nose, so I'm going to take this Chikuhodo powder brush and brush it off. Some of the dark stuff. And the mattes were really powdery as well. This is still patchy. It's driving me nuts. I'm going to try to fix it again here. I'm going to finish up my eye makeup and I'll be right back. I'm still trying to get over this patchy eyeshadow. And I'm upset about it because there's a street dance tonight in town that I was looking to attend, and who wants to go with patchy eyeshadow? That's the reason why I use a really hydrating primer, because I know I have dry eyelids, and the more hydrating the primer, I can get the stuff to blend better on it. Whereas, so I can't imagine. I've tried the primer that comes with the Lorac palette, the little tube, and that's too drying for my lids. So I can't imagine if I would have used that on my lids, how patchy this would have gone on me. And I just tried to blend the living out of it again, especially on this side. This side turned out okay, but I really had to blend this a lot as well. But this it just continues to get patchy. I pack on more color, you know, and it deepens up, and then I try to blend out the harshness, and then it goes patchy again right there. And I'm over it. Let's put on some lips. I'm going to use this Burberry Rosewood No. 7 lip liner. Just wipe this balm off here. And I'm just going to line them. It's just a really good neutral lip liner here. And I just got this today in the mail. It's the new Too Faced Melted Longwear, one of these little lip deals. They came out with some new colors, and this is Melted Marshmallow, which, by the way, I have their the three new palettes that they just released. I think there's Cat Eyes, Rock and Roll, and then Country Girl. And those are supposed to be here on Wednesday. So I was planning on doing a first impression and look with one of them, and maybe showing the other two, you know, and swatching them and stuff. Or let me know if you guys want me to do a video on each of them, like first impressions and a look on each of them. So anyway, let's put this on over the top of that lip liner. And it is a pinkier pink. This is kind of what I thought Melted Peony was going to look like. And it does pull a little bit more yellow pink than blue pink. But I really like these. And there is so much product in these, like, you'll never run out. There's 0.4 ounces of lip product in here, which is a load. So there is the overall finished look in all its patchy eyeshadow glory. I definitely need to play with it more. I'm sure the shimmer shades will work out a little bit better, or do some different color schemes and stuff like that. But in any event, I hope that you guys found this video helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.